Good afternoon, welcome to BBC London, I'm Thomas Magill. First this lunchtime, she was the light of our lives. That's how the family of a second child killed after a car crashed into a school in Wimbledon have paid tribute to their daughter. 8-year-old Nuria Sajid died yesterday. She was the second victim to be killed. Another 8-year-old, Selina Lau, also died, and a woman in her 40s remains in a critical condition in hospital. The driver of the vehicle, a 46-year-old woman, has been arrested and bailed until later this month. Alpa Patel has the latest.
Well, it was announced by police last night that sadly a second child had died as a result of what police are calling a serious traffic collision last Thursday. The second child has been named as 8-year-old Nuria Sajid. Nuria's family have said in a statement that Nuria was the light of our lives. She embodied joy, kindness and generosity, and she was loved by all around her. Now, the school, the study preparatory school, has said, "We are utterly heartbroken at the news another of our pupils, Nuria Sajid, has died in hospital following the horrifying incident. It struck at the very heart of our community, and we are still struggling to come to terms with the shock and grief left in its wake." Now, Nuria is the second child to have died as a result of this collision. Selina Lau, who was also 8, died soon after the collision on Thursday. She has been described by her family as a cheeky girl who was adored and loved by everyone. A woman in her 40s remains in a serious condition in hospital, and the driver of the vehicle, a 46-year-old woman, has been bailed until late July. She has been arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving. Now, all day we've seen people arrive here to lay flowers, to pay their respects to the families and the 2 girls who have died. It's fair to say that the mood here is very, very heightened. It's very, very sombre.
Alpa Patel reporting there. A man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after 2 people were stabbed in Surbiton. One person is believed to have been assaulted at the Crown Plaza Hotel, which currently houses Afghan refugees, while the other man was attacked at a BMW garage next door. Surrey police say they believe the attack was an isolated incident, and the arrested man remains in police custody. Campaigners are calling on the government to refuse proposals for a second runway at Gatwick Airport. The Transport Secretary, Mark Harper, is to make a final decision on plans to bring the airport's second emergency runway into regular use. The Campaign to Protect Rural England claim the move would increase noise and air pollution. Now, a cultural space in South London is under threat from redevelopment after being given the go-ahead to be demolished and replaced with offices and housing. One tenant at the old Paradise Yard says she'll be forced to leave London if the site is redeveloped. But Lambeth Council, who granted planning permission, say it will provide much-needed affordable housing and thousands of jobs. Frankie McCamley reports.
A stone's throw from Waterloo Station, tucked behind Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital, is this little eclectic oasis of culture, hosting festivals, running workshops in the old Victorian schoolhouse and promoting emerging artists.
It's a space where unexpected things can happen, where people can come together, and it's a kind of an enclave in an area of London which, like many areas, seems to be becoming overdeveloped at the expense of culture.
But this area could soon be turned into the largest office space ever proposed in Lambeth. Developers want to demolish and rebuild a housing block and create 4 new office towers, which will include a new health science district with laboratory spaces for clinicians and researchers.
Do we need more offices? Do we need another shard in 5 bits, still poking up 80 metres high, 3.5 times the height of these trees?
In a statement, Lambeth Council said the development will provide much-needed new affordable homes and revolutionise healthcare. It says it will also unlock £1 billion of investment and create over 6,000 new jobs. But it'll be at the expense of people like Candice. She's been running acting classes here for nearly a decade.
For me, it's very hard to find a space very unique. And to be honest, if I should move, I will leave London. So I don't have a choice because there is no space like that in London.
The plans have been approved by Lambeth Council and the Mayor of London. As they affect a World Heritage Site, they've automatically been handed to the Levelling Up Secretary, Michael Gove. He's expected to make a decision on the development next month. Frankie McCamley, BBC London.
Now, with over 4,000 paintings, the Royal Museum's Greenwich has one of the most significant collections of maritime art in the world. Many are kept in storage, just like this one here, a portrait of Captain Frederick Cornwall. It's recently been subject to a fake or fortune revelation. I'll let Wendy Hurl explain.
Behind the scenes in this unit, the Royal Museum's Greenwich stores its art when not on display.
Well, this is half of the paintings. The other half are through that door there. So this is, sort of just a section.
Turns out there's been a masterpiece hidden away here. It used to hang in that space there. A painting discovered to be by one of the most important British artists of the 18th century.
Stored away for a really long time.
For a really long time, yeah. So at least 30 years it's been in storage. But we know it came into the collection in 1960, and there's every possibility it, has almost never been displayed in that time, or sort of very rarely. So kind of 3 years now of kind of being hidden away in rooms like this.
And here it is, recently attributed to Thomas Gainsborough. There were telltale signs curators noticed, confirmed by Hugh Belsey, an authority on the painter.
Gainsborough tended to use a warm brown ground for a lot of his paintings, which was quite unusual compared to some of his contemporaries. So if you look at certain areas like his eyebrows, there's actually very little paint there. He's really economic in his use of paint, and there's a few brush strokes which are used to kind of delineate the eyebrow hairs.
The discovery or the rediscovery of this particular painting is really significant because it's one of the sort of rare examples we have, certainly in a public collection and sort of surviving at all, of this moment in Gainsborough's career, capturing this sort of stage in his kind of evolution towards the painter that people are perhaps more familiar with.
Dulled with dust and yellowing varnish, now they've got some work to do.
It's actually a quite immediate conservation concern in that the paint layers themselves are quite unstable. So there are certain areas that you can see here where the paint is actually lifting and flaking, but nothing that we can't fix here.
The museum is hoping to crowdfund £60,000 for the restoration. Wendy Hurrell, BBC London.
OK, time now for a look at the weather, and Kate's in Wimbledon for us. Kate, I understand it's all change.
Well, it is about to change, but this afternoon is still looking pretty bright and pretty dry. We've got lots of sunshine. We've had uninterrupted play here at Wimbledon all morning, and it looks likely to continue into the afternoon as well. Now, we have got a bit more cloud. It'll start to increase towards the end of the afternoon and into the evening, but it's still quite warm. We're looking at temperatures getting up to here, probably around 22 or 23 elsewhere, maybe 24 as a maximum. But you'll notice my hair is a bit flyaway. The wind is fairly fresh today, and that wind is going to stay with us into this evening and overnight as well. Now, as we head through the evening, it's dry to start with, but then we're going to see the cloud increasing and a band of rain moving in as well. And that rain is going to be quite heavy. You might get a rumble of thunder, and temperatures dropping down to somewhere between 15 and 17. So it's actually going to be quite humid, a muggy start tomorrow. Now, this rain is actually a cold front. It will take its time to clear, but weaken as it does so, and we'll get some lighter rain through the morning. But we could just get another band as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow getting up to around 22 Celsius. So again, it's going to feel just a little bit fresher when we lose that humidity. Thomas.
Thanks, Kate. Well, there's more on all of today's stories on the BBC News app, including images from last weekend's Trans Pride March. Riz will be here this evening at 6:30. Until then, have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.